your FOMO is no longer a problem. I don't just report separate hot news, I connect the dots and link hot news with past events, so you can get the big picture in minutes. That is how BeBoss TV helps you get news easily and never miss a beat in this fast-moving industry. A rumor causing quite a stir, but turns out it's nothing but a false alarm. We're talking about the supposed Black Ocean incident involving NewJeans and IVE at the Melon Music Awards. For those who are still confused, our Black Ocean is when a crowd intentionally turns off their light sticks, creating a sea of darkness to show disapproval for a group. Well, sounds pretty intense, right? But before you jump to any conclusions about people's attitude toward IVE and NewJeans, when these girls receive their awards, let me tell you, this whole thing is blown out of proportion. Turns out, many people in the crowd, especially those who are close to the stage, were actually filming with their phones, so they put down their light sticks. This was confirmed through various fan cams, including one of NewJeans' Hanni, where you can see lit light sticks in the background while fans on the floor were busy filming. And it wasn't just with the girl groups. Even male idols like NCT's Jaemin and Jeno experienced similar situations. So, do you think people are boycotting NewJeans and IVE out of the belief they are not talented enough for these awards? Or it was just an incident? Now, MMAs are not just about performances, they're also a goldmine for fan theories and controversies because there are a bunch of fan cams from all directions. Oh, that's why we also have this cute, confusing moment from Minji. Anyway, back to the main point. These clips capture every smirk, smile, and side-eye from our favorite idols, and sometimes they stir up more drama than the performances themselves, and that's why Giselle has recently found herself at the center of such a controversy. It all started with her reaction to IVE acceptance speech.
힘이 되거나 뭔가 답이 될 수 있는 상황이 많은 것 같아. 너무 행복해. 다이브한테 먼저 고맙다는 말 해주고 싶고요. 그리고 올해 앨범 상에 걸맞는 부담도 많이 느꼈는데 잘 하고 싶어서. And to our lovely global thank you for our next step too. Thank you so much.
Giselle was accused of being disrespectful towards IVE. The allegations pointed to her yawning, rubbing her eyes, crossing her arms, and even laughing during a serious moment. The post described these actions as intentional displays of boredom and disrespect, especially considering the formal setting of an award ceremony. Of course, there are various ways to view a matter, but to me, these are just signs of Giselle, as many idols are tired of having worked super hard in the year-end season, especially as Aespa has just come back around the same time with year-end awards shows. But do you know what's more ironic about netizens? At the same time, they are criticizing Giselle for being allegedly disrespectful to IVE during their speech. Netizens are also criticizing Aespa's speech themselves, as they said, leeseo was too cringy to handle. Her crying clip, which was shared on X, earned 6.6 million views as of writing.
오늘 상 줘서 너무 고마워요. 오늘 진짜 받을 줄 모르고 나왔는데 너무 행복해요.
This, obviously, gave people the flashback of what leeseo did back in 2022. The criticism didn't stop there. Some netizens unfavorably compared her to NewJeans' enhypen, who is younger but managed to deliver her speech more calmly. They questioned leeseo professionalism, citing her inability to control her tears and speak properly. Personally, I think some were being too pressed here, and not only other netizens, but even idols like nctdream, NewJeans, and Aespa also found her speech cute and nothing of cringe. So again, the criticism seems a bit too much here. However, things about IVE at MMA 2023 seem like a never-ending saga of drama, as besides these, their stylists were also bashed for bringing back the wonyoung and Friends theme for the red carpet styling. This wasn't the first time such concerns were raised, but it's particularly interesting in light of the earlier controversies we discussed. Digging deeper into IVE's styling controversy, it's worth considering a different angle. Could this all be a strategic move for attention? Let's unpack by looking at how wonyoung had to work compared to the rest of the girls. From music award appearances to international interviews, wonyoung has been consistently booked. For instance, Wonyoung's schedule included emceeing at the Asia Artist Awards in the Philippines, returning to Korea for the KBS Song Festival, attending fan sign events, and then traveling to China. And again, this isn't the first time Wonyoung caught attention for such a breathlessly hectic schedule. But even with that kind of life, Liz has spoken about Wonyoung's perfect work ethic and how she never appears tired no matter how busy she is, which was also the reason why Liz wanted to learn so much from Wonyoung. So, what if the distinctive styling at the MMAs, particularly for Wonyoung, was less about favoritism and more about a marketing tactic to draw attention? It shows the complexities of idol management, where every aspect, yes, from fashion to scheduling, is carefully strategized. First, let's talk about Jake from ENHYPHEN. He experienced what can only be described as a backhanded compliment during a video call fan sign.
And I'm so glad that we have you as a foreigner member in ENHYPHEN, because among all these Asian people with Asian way of thinking, I'm so happy we have you. You are so easygoing, so open-minded. I love you a lot.
She, a girl who voluntarily chose to immerse in Asian culture, standing an Asian man, just to eventually say to the face of a Korean man that it was good how he and his mindset isn't so Asian, as a compliment. Obviously, Jake, born in South Korea and raised in Australia, speaks English fluently, but the way the fan addressed it was just not cool. It's a reminder that even idols aren't immune to such insensitive remarks. And then there's Jungkook finding themselves the subject of some distasteful comments on a New York Times podcast. Yes, you are hearing it right. As a credible source, the New York Times still did that.
Is what a K-pop guy can do? It sounds just like Justin Timberlake. Why do you need a Korean guy doing Justin Timberlake when we have Justin Timberlake? I can go see Trolls 3 right now.
Basically, the New York Times has this podcast called Popcast, and in one episode, the host invited Kara, a guest who even hid her last name because the stans are crazy, and they spent 47 minutes trashing BTS, mostly Jungkook, and at one point TXT, and ironically emphasized many times that they are adults, so they can voice their opinions. After listening to it, I know it's exactly the typical dishing idols conversation between two anti-fans, or at least one anti-fan, and an old Amri choosing to leave because BTS no longer felt Korean enough. They threw shade at BTS for their English releases like Dynamite, Butter, and Permission to Dance, even their international collaboration, Mic Drop, with Steve Aoki, and TXT, who is totally irrelevant to the hate of BTS, didn't escape criticism. But most particularly, the podcasters called out Jungkook's solo debut album, Golden, for being too influenced by Western pop and for Jungkook's choice to sing in English. One of the podcasters even went as far as to say that Jungkook sounded too much like Justin Timberlake, questioning the need for a Korean artist in this style. Kara then even blocked ARMYs on social media, refusing to acknowledge the criticism. This, understandably, has only added fuel to the fire, with ARMYs continuing to call out the New York Times for racism and xenophobia, demanding an apology for the offensive content of the podcast. Shifting our focus from the red carpet to airport runways, let's talk about idol safety when dealing with Sasaeng fans. These are the Daelulu fans who often cross boundaries, and recent events highlight just how serious this issue can be. First up, let's talk about Stray Kids' Hyunjin. A recent viral video showed him at the airport, where someone got uncomfortably close to him, even appearing to record him. This sparked a debate about idol safety, with many calling out the lack of security and criticizing the fan for trying to live a Your Name moment, a reference to fanfics, where you interact with the idol. Moving to BTS's Jungkook, he's had to deal with Sasaengs to the point of calling them out during live broadcasts. From fans following him to private places, to sending unsolicited food deliveries to his home, Jungkook's experiences highlight a concerning lack of privacy for idols.
요즘도 집 앞에 자생 있더라. 찾자가 이 새끼들아.
This issue of privacy takes us to BTS, RM and V. In an emotional appeal, they literally got on their knees during a live stream, begging fans not to come to their military enlistment locations. This powerful moment underlines the seriousness of the privacy concerns faced by idols, even during significant life events. But perhaps one of the most unsettling incidents recently involved Girls' Generation's Taehyung. During a fan sign event, a man acted bizarrely and then demanded Taehyung's phone number, throwing an album at her. This alarming incident not only shook Taehyung, but also her fans. She later expressed her shock and sadness, urging fans to respect her work and efforts rather than trying to get her attention at ridiculous costs. Now, let's touch briefly on Rise and about a different type of fan rather than Sasaeng fans. This one's about a TikTok user who posted a video dancing to Rise Talk Saxy Bridge. But here's the twist. He credited the song to ENHYPHEN instead of Rise. This miscrediting seems like an attempt to stir up some noise, likely to drive more comments and consequently more views. It's a tactic we see often on social media, creating controversy or confusion to gain cheap, quick attention and virality. In this case, it might have been a deliberate ploy to exploit the popularity of a well-known group like ENHYPEN to boost the video's visibility. Interestingly, Rise themselves stepped in, calling out the original poster for the miscrediting. The TikToker then responded by posting another dance video, this time correctly attributing the song to Rise. While this doesn't directly relate to Sasaeng behavior, it certainly speaks to a different kind of issue in the digital age of K-pop. This incident reflects the complex web of interactions and misunderstandings that can happen online, impacting artists' recognition and rights. In a video on Aespa's YouTube channel, Winter and Karina recalled fond memories of their trainee days, involving Sullyoon leaving them treats like fried Saboro. Such a heartwarming gesture, right? But here's where things get interesting. Fans started speculating that this anecdote hinted Sullyoon might have been part of SM Entertainment at some point, especially because it's rumored that Sullyoon was a monster rookie, accepted into several big companies, including SM Entertainment, before finally choosing JYP Entertainment. While there's no official confirmation about her training past, this story has certainly got fans excited and curious. So, was Sullyoon a part of SM Entertainment, along with Aespa's members? Well, the mystery remains, but isn't it just fun to imagine all the possible connections and friendships in the K-pop world?